The drive from Seattle had been a slog, winding through the endless drizzle of the Pacific Northwest until the urban sprawl gave way to the towering evergreens of the Cascade Mountains. Alex gripped the steering wheel of the old SUV, his eyes scanning the fog-shrouded road ahead. It was late afternoon by the time they pulled up to the rented cabin, a rustic wooden structure nestled deep in a valley where the mist clung to everything like a living thing. The air was thick with the scent of pine and damp earth, a far cry from the coffee shops and traffic he'd left behind. "This place is perfect," Jordan said from the passenger seat, already pulling out his camera to snap a few shots of the fog rolling over the peaks. Jordan was Alex's old college roommate, a lanky guy with a perpetual grin and a new promotion as a freelance photographer to celebrate. That's what this trip was all about: escaping the burnout of remote work, reconnecting with friends, and chasing some adventure in the wild. Riley climbed out of the back, stretching her legs with a groan. She was Jordan's cousin, a no-nonsense biology student who preferred facts over fantasy. "As long as there's no bears or Bigfoot lurking around," she muttered, adjusting her backpack. Taylor, Riley's girlfriend and the group's unofficial chef, laughed as she hopped down beside her. Taylor had that infectious energy, always foraging for ingredients or experimenting with recipes. "Come on, Riley, where's your sense of wonder? This forest is full of edibles, mushrooms, berries. I bet I can whip up something amazing tonight." They unloaded the SUV quickly, the gravel crunching under their boots. The cabin was cozy inside. A stone fireplace, worn leather couches, and bedrooms branching off a central living area. Alex claimed the small room at the back, with its view of the dense woods. Jordan and Riley took the larger one with twin beds, while Taylor set up in the loft upstairs. "Score," Alex said, dropping his duffel bag. Solitude at last. By evening, they'd gathered wood for a bonfire in the clearing outside. The flames crackled to life, pushing back the encroaching dusk. Taylor skewered some sausages and veggies on sticks, humming as she rotated them over the heat. Jordan passed around beers, and they toasted to the weekend. "To leaving the city grind behind," he said. That's when a figure emerged from the tree line, a man in hiking gear carrying a woven basket. He approached slowly, his boots silent on the mossy ground. "Evening, folks," he called out, his voice gravelly but friendly. "Name's Harlan. I'm a ranger in these parts. Saw your fire and thought I'd say hello. Mind if I join for a bit? Got some fresh finds to share." The group exchanged glances, but the isolation made them welcoming. "Sure, pull up a log," Alex said. Harlan settled in, opening his basket to reveal clusters of deep red berries and speckled mushrooms. "Wild huckleberries and chanterelles," he explained. "Best this time of year, but be careful. Some lookalikes can make you sick if you're not experienced." Taylor's eyes lit up. "These look incredible. Mind if I try a few? I love incorporating forage stuff into meals." Harlan nodded, but his expression turned cautious. "Go ahead, but start small. The forest here has old stories. Spirits that guard the land, shapeshifters in the mist. Folks say disturbing the wrong patch can invite trouble." Riley rolled her eyes. "Legends are just that. Stories to scare campers. It's probably just toxic spores or something scientific." But Taylor popped a handful of berries into her mouth, savoring the tart burst. "Delicious," she declared. "Harlan, tell us more about these guardians. Sounds like a good campfire tale." As the night deepened, Harlan spun yarns of hikers who vanished, leaving only echoes in the wind or shadows that mimicked voices to lure people astray. The group laughed it off, but the fog seemed to thicken, muffling the usual forest sounds. Crickets chirped sporadically and an owl hooted in the distance. They roasted their food, the smoky aroma mixing with the earthy scent of the mushrooms Taylor sautéed as a side. Later, as the fire died down, Taylor rubbed her stomach. "Those berries were great, but I feel a bit queasy." "Maybe I overdid it." Riley frowned. "Told you to be careful, let's get you inside." They doused the flames and retreated to the cabin, the mist swirling like fingers reaching out. Alex lay in bed, staring at the ceiling beams. The cabin creaked in the wind, and outside the trees whispered secrets. He drifted towards sleep, but a faint sound pulled him back. Soft murmurs, like voices carried on the breeze. He sat up, heart quickening. Was it just the wind? Or something more? Echoing Harlan's warnings, the morning sun filtered through the cabin's windows in hazy shafts, cutting through the lingering fog outside. Alex woke to the smell of coffee brewing, his mind replaying the odd whispers from the night before. He shook it off as imagination fueled by Harlan's stories and joined the others in the kitchen. Jordan was flipping pancakes, his camera slung around his neck. "Sleep okay?" he asked. "Yeah, mostly," Alex replied, pouring a mug. Taylor was already up, looking a tad pale but energetic. "Feeling better?" he asked her. She nodded vigorously. "Totally. Must have been the travel catching up. Those berries gave me a weird dream, though, like I was running through the trees faster than I should be able to." Riley shot her a look. "Dreams are just brain garbage. Let's focus on the hike today." They packed day bags and set out on a trail that wound uphill through the dense forest. The path was narrow, flanked by ferns and ancient cedars draped in moss. Jordan stopped every few minutes to photograph the scenery, the way light pierced the canopy or dew glistening on spiderwebs. "This is gold," he said, clicking away. Alex breathed in the crisp air, feeling the city's stress melt away. About an hour in, they stumbled upon an abandoned campsite off the trail. Tattered tent fabric hung from branches, and a fire pit was overgrown with weeds. Scattered around were strange carvings on rocks, symbols that looked like twisted animal forms intertwined with human shapes. "What is this?" Riley knelt to examine one. "Looks indigenous, maybe, or some hiker's art project." Taylor traced a carving with her finger, her eyes distant. "It's beautiful, almost alive." She seemed more intrigued than the rest, her usual cheer edged with something intense. As they explored, a rustling in the bushes made them freeze. Out trotted a scruffy stray dog, its fur matted and eyes wary. It sniffed the air, then approached Jordan, tail wagging tentatively. "Poor thing," Jordan said, offering a bit of trail mix, a bit of... The dog gobbled it up and stuck close as they continued. "Guess we've got a temporary mascot." They named it Scout, and it bounded ahead, occasionally growling at unseen things in the underbrush. Back at the cabin by afternoon, they lounged on the porch. Taylor foraged nearby, picking more berries despite Riley's protests. "I'm fine," she insisted, her voice sharper than usual. "My senses feel heightened out here, like I can smell everything." Indeed, she devoured lunch with unusual gusto, barely chewing. As evening fell, they built another fire. Scout curled by Alex's feet but suddenly perked up, ears twitching. The forest had gone quiet, no birds, no insects. Footprints appeared in the soft earth around the cabin's perimeter, human at first, then morphing into paw-like impressions leading into the trees. "What the?" Alex muttered, shining his flashlight. Harlan appeared again, this time in his ranger uniform. "Saw your light. Everything all right?" He eyed the prints. "We've had reports of odd tracks, ties into those old tales, forest guardians punishing intruders." The group brushed it off, but tension simmered. That night, as rain pattered on the roof, a knock echoed at the door. "Hey, it's me," came a voice sounding just like Jordan. But Jordan was inside, asleep on the couch. Alex's blood ran cold. Who or what was outside? The knock hung in the air like a threat, sending a chill through the cabin. Alex crept to the door, peering through the peephole into the rainy darkness. Nothing. "Jordan," he whispered, but the real Jordan stirred from the couch, bleary-eyed. "What?" I didn't say anything. Riley and Taylor descended from upstairs, faces pale in the dim light. "We all heard it," Riley said, her scientific skepticism cracking. "Mimicry? Like a bird or something?" But Scout growled low, hackles raised, staring at the door. They barricaded it with a chair and waited, hearts pounding until the night quieted. Morning brought uneasy relief. Over breakfast, they examined the footprints again, definitely shifting from boot marks to something clawed. "This is freaky," Jordan admitted, snapping photos. Taylor seemed unfazed, even energized. Maybe it's a sign. The forest is alive. She ate ravenously, piling her plate high, her movements quick and jerky. Harlan returned mid-morning, radio crackling on his belt. Heard about last night's storm? Lines are down in spots. He shared more, past disappearances linked to guardians, shapeshifters from indigenous lore protecting sacred sites. One hiker found a cave years ago, disturbed artifacts, never the same after. The group nodded politely, but Alex felt a knot in his gut. They decided on a short hike to clear their heads. Fog rolled in thick, disorienting the trail. Taylor led, her pace unnaturally swift. "Slow down," Riley called, but Taylor vanished around a bend. Panic set in as they searched, calling her name. Scout barked frantically. They found her by a stream, mumbling to herself in words that sounded ancient, not English. Her hair had bits falling out, caught in the current. "Taylor?" Alex approached. She turned, eyes reflecting oddly in the light. The whispers. They call. Riley pulled her back, but Taylor resisted, stronger than expected. Back at the cabin, tensions boiled. "You're acting weird," Jordan said. Taylor snapped, "You're all blind, the forest speaks truth." Alex slipped away to search the cabin and found an old journal tucked in a drawer. Entries from previous renters about visions, changes after eating certain plants. One line chilled him. It starts with the hunger. As dusk fell, Taylor wandered off again, drawn to the woods. The group geared up for a search, flashlights cutting through the mist. But as they stepped out, shadows stirred in the trees, watching, waiting. Flashlights bobbed like fireflies as the group plunged into the forest after Taylor. The fog swallowed sounds, turning their calls into echoes. "Taylor, where are you?" Alex shouted, Scout leading with urgent sniffs. Branches clawed at their clothes, and the air grew heavy with a musky scent. They found her near a rocky outcrop, kneeling by a hidden cave entrance. Glowing fungi lined the walls inside, illuminating artifacts, carved stones depicting shifting forms. Taylor held one, eyes glazed. "This is it, the heart." Riley grabbed her arm. "We need to go, now." But Taylor shoved her away with surprising force, snarling like an animal. Scout lunged, barking wildly, revealing teeth marks on Taylor's hand that healed unnaturally fast. "What's happening to you?" Jordan gasped. Back at the cabin, they locked doors, but Taylor's transformation accelerated, pacing, muttering riddles about becoming one with the wild. Alex radioed Harlan, but static overwhelmed the signal. "Help! Something's wrong!" Outside, a shadowy figure approached, mimicking Harlan's shape. "Let me in," it said in his voice. Scout went berserk, and the group realized the Guardian was here, toying with them. They tried to leave, but the SUV's wires were cut, sparks flying when Alex turned the key. Trapped, with the entity circling, they huddled inside as taps echoed on the walls. Then, a window shattered, glass spraying inward. Glass crunched underfoot as the group scrambled back from the broken window. Wind howled in, carrying a chill that seeped into their bones. "Barricade it!" Alex yelled, shoving furniture against the frame. The shadow outside retreated, but its presence lingered, tapping intermittently like a predator testing defenses. Taylor collapsed in the corner, mumbling in that unknown tongue, her skin paling as more hair shed. "It was the berries," she whispered lucidly for a moment. "They connect you to it." Riley examined her, pulse racing. "This isn't food poisoning. It's like possession." Alex flashed back to his childhood, hearing similar tales from a native elder at a family camping trip, curses from disturbed sacred grounds, binding spirits to intruders. "We need to undo this," he said. Suspicion grew. Had Taylor known about the cave? A quick search of her bag revealed a map with the site marked, her secret interest in folklore hidden from Riley. "Why didn't you say?" Riley demanded, hurt flashing in her eyes. Storm raged outside, lightning illuminating the entity's form, human one flash, beastly the next. Scout stood guard, but the taps turned to scratches. Harlan's voice called again, but they knew better. In desperation, Alex suggested a ritual from the journal, burning the artifact Taylor took. But as they prepared, the entity smashed another pane, its claw reaching in. Scout attacked, buying time, but blood sprayed. Whose? Scout's yelp pierced the chaos as the claw raked its side. Jordan pulled the dog back, bandaging hastily while Alex lit the artifact in the fireplace. Flames roared, and outside a howl echoed. Pain or rage? Headlights cut through the storm. The real Harlan, truck rumbling up. "Got your radio call. Faint, but enough." They piled in, Taylor restrained and mumbling, Scout limping aboard. Harlan hitched the SUV and gunned it down the twisting road. Shadows dashed alongside, trees blurring. A putrid odor invaded the cab, like rot and wet fur. "It's following," Harlan gritted, honking wildly. Scout sacrificed itself, leaping out to distract the pursuer, its barks fading into snarls. They reached town, mechanics fixing the SUV amid stares. A local elder approached. "The curse bonds to one, needs a ritual to sever." Taylor stabilized slightly, but her eyes held a wild glint. Driving back to Seattle, relief mixed with dread. Taylor slept fitfully, but Alex noticed his own reflection, eyes reflecting oddly. Had it spread? Back in Seattle, the city lights felt alien after the forest's grip. The group scattered, Jordan buried in work, Riley distant. Taylor isolated herself, thinner, hollow-eyed, avoiding calls. Alex researched indigenous lore, consulting experts who spoke of cyclical curses, guardians reclaiming balance. One evening, Riley shared Taylor's journal. Entries predicting returns, sketches of shifting forms. "She knew the risks," Riley said, voice breaking. Alex confronted Taylor at her apartment. She opened the door, gaunt but calm. "It's not over," she whispered. They planned a return for the ritual, but as Alex left, his phone rang. Taylor's number, her voice not quite right. "Come back. To the mist." The cycle whispered on, shadows lengthening in the urban sprawl.